Now that you have basic understanding of nested loop, it's time for you to do a practice. In this practice, you are going to find out the output of this nested loop. In this case, of course, you can see I'm using nested for loop. It doesn't mean you cannot use nested while or do while. Of course, you can do that. But let's just try to find out the output of this nested loop. This will allow you to have more practice with nested loop and you will feel more comfortable after completing this challenge. So pause the video and find the output of this one. All right, I think you were able to find out the output, but let's do it together then. So first of all, try to understand from where you're starting. So our outer loop here, I'm going to put outer loop as a comment. And for the outer loop, what basically we're doing, here we have the value of I, which is the initial variable, and it has the value 5. 5 less than equals 6, of course, is true. So when the outer condition is true, that means we can go inside the inner loop. So we are coming here now. And the value of j is 1 and it will run 1 to 3. So of course, you know how it's going to work. This inner loop is going to run 3 times. So what is the value for the inner loop here? Let me put it like that, inner loop. And the variable j at the beginning, it has 1 less than equal 3, which is true. And that's why we're going inside the body of inner loop. Now, in our case, what we're doing, we're printing something. And what is that we're printing? We are dividing I with j and we're looking for the remainder. So here, the value of I is 5. Let me put it like that, modulus. And then we have the variable value j. J has 1 here. So in this case, we're going to put 1. And what will be the remainder here? Of course, it's going to be 0, right? So again, you can spend your time and then you can figure out how it's going to be 0 because we already discussed about this. Okay, let's continue. In the next iteration for the inner loop, it's going to be here j plus plus. That means the last value was 1. This time it will be 2. 2 less than equal 3, which is true. Again, the value of I is still the same as long as we are inside the inner loop. We are not changing the outer value yet. Here, the value of j will be 2. If we divide 5 by 2, then the remainder will be in this case 1. All right, in the next iteration, the value of j will be 3, 3 less than equal 3, which is true. So here the value of j will be changed. And if we divide 5 by 3, the remainder will be this time 2. All right. In the next iteration, the value of j will be 4. 4 less than equal 3. It's not true anymore. That means the inner loop is failed and we'll go back to the outer loop again. So the last value of outer loop was 5, as you can see. So I has 5 and now this time it will be changed here. So it will be 6. 6 less than equal 6 is true. So we will come inside the inner loop. Again, it will run just like before. So I can copy and paste and hear everything. Okay. But remember, this time the value of I is 6. So here I'm going to put 6 as well. Here I'm going to put 6. And for this one, I'm going to put 6. So if you divide 6 by 1, of course, the remainder will be 0. If you divide 6 by 2, the remainder will be 0. If you divide 6 by 3, the remainder will be 0 as well. All right, then we'll go back to the outer loop because when the inner loop is finished, then we'll go back to the outer loop as usual. And this time the value of I will be 7 because we are incrementing in the outer loop every time when we're going back. So 7 less than equals 6, which is not true anymore. That means our program will end here. Okay, so what is the output we have got here? First, if in the first outer loop, we have the value 0, 1, 2 in the first iteration for the outer loop. And in the second one, we have 0, 0, 0, 0. So let's see if we run this program, whether we get the similar kind of result that we are expecting here. Okay. So it's compiling and running, and there you go. In the first iteration, we have 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. In the second iteration for the outer loop, we have 0, 0, 0. So it is like we have the output as we expected. So hopefully things are making sense. You can spend more time with nested loop. As I said, this is something we are going to use a lot in next few lessons. So you need to understand how inner and outer loop behaves. Okay.